there, Ariana from Crafting Happiness here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful Granny Snowflake Hexagon. So let's get started. For this tutorial, I am using Aran yarn in red and white and a matching hook, 5mm crochet hook. You can use any yarn you like with a matching hook and of course any colors you like. We will start with the white color and make a magic ring, and then we will chain 2, make a double crochet into the magic ring, and then again chain 2. Next we will make a double crochet cluster, and to make a double crochet cluster you have to make 2 incomplete double crochet and then join them together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops and leave the incomplete double crochet on your hook, and again an incomplete double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through the 2. And now we have 2 incomplete double crochet. We will join them by yarning over and pulling through all the loops on your hook. And this is how you make a double crochet cluster. Next we will chain 2, and this is your repeat section for this round. You make a double crochet cluster followed by a chain 2. So let me show you again another repeat. Let's make a double crochet cluster. So 2 incomplete double crochet first, this 2, and then yarn over, pull through all, and then chain 2. So we will need 6 of these clusters. We already have 3. Let's make 3 more and then continue with the second round. And this is what we have so far. Now pull out the magic ring tail so we can close it shut. Just pull like that, and then we will close this round by slip stitching into the first stitch we made in this round. And this is how your first round looks like. Now we will continue with round 2, and on round 2 we will be working in these chain 2 spaces between the clusters. So we will have to first slip stitch into the next chain 2 space just to move the yarn there, and then chain 2, and into the same chain space we will make a double crochet, and then chain 2, make a cluster into the same chain 2 space, and remember the cluster is 2 incomplete double crochet joined together. So let's make that double crochet cluster like this, and then chain 2. And now we will move into the next chain 2 space, and we will start with a double crochet cluster, this, chain 2, then another double crochet cluster into the same space, and chain 2. And this is your repeat section for each of these chain 2 spaces. Double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster into the same chain 2 space, then chain 2, and move on to the next chain 2 space. So let me show you again another repeat, after which I'm going to jump straight to the end of this round. So double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster into the same chain 2 space, and chain 2. So do this repeat section in every of these chain 2 spaces. We have 3 more, and I'll see you at the end of the round. And this is what we have so far. I've done the repeats in each of these chain 2 spaces. Now we are going to close the round by slip stitching into the first stitch we've made. So make a slip stitch, and this is your round 2. And again, on round 3 we are working into this chain 2 spaces, so we need to move the yarn into the next chain 2 space with a slip stitch, and then we can start the round by chaining 2, then a double crochet. This counts as a double crochet cluster, and then chain 3 and another cluster into the same chain 2 space below, then we chain 3 and we move into the next chain 2 space where we make a single crochet, then chain 3, and we are going to continue into the next space. So now we are starting the repeat section, and I'll show you what it is. We start with a double crochet cluster into the next chain 2 space, then chain 3, then again a double crochet cluster into the same space, then chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 2 space, and chain 3. So like I said, this is your repeat section right here. We do a cluster, chain 3, cluster, both into the same chain 2 space, chain 3 again, single crochet next, and chain 3. So let me show you again one more repeat before we move. I'll move at the end of the round. So again, cluster into the next chain 2 space, then chain 3, followed by a cluster into the same chain 2 space, then chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 2 space, and then chain 3. So repeat this all around until you have crocheted into the last chain 2 space below. And this is what we have so far. And then to close the round, slip stitch at the top of the stitch, very first stitch you have made. And this is round 3. On round 4, we need to move the yarn again into the next available chain space. So let's make a slip stitch into that chain space, and then start from there with a chain 2 and then a double crochet. And this counts as your very first cluster. Next, chain 1, and into the same chain space, let's make another cluster. And next we will make a picot stitch by chaining 3, and then we insert the hook into the base stitch. So not in any of these chains, but into that stitch at the base, insert your hook inside it and through these loops on the side, like so, and then slip stitch, and this is your picot stitch. Next, we will chain 1 and make another cluster into the same chain space. And these are the stitches done. Now chain 3, and we make a single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Then again chain 3 and a single crochet into the next chain space, and chain 3. And from this point on, we start the repeat section. It starts with a cluster into the next chain 3 space. Then chain 1, then another cluster into the same space. Then a picot stitch by chaining 3, inserting the hook into the base stitch and through the loops on the side. Then I make a slip stitch, chain 1, and another cluster into the same chain space. Chain 3, a single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and single crochet into the next space, and finally chain 3. So this is your repeat section right here, this part, cluster, chain 1, cluster, picot stitch, another chain 1, cluster, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3. Now repeat this section all around your snowflake until you have crocheted into the last chain 3 space. Now let me show you again one more repeat. Like I said, cluster, then chain 1, another cluster into the same space, then picot stitch made out of 3 chains, insert the hook inside that stitch at the base, through the loops on the side and slip stitch, then chain 1 and another cluster into the same space, chain 3, single crochet into the next stitch, and chain 3, single crochet into the next stitch, and then chain 3. Now repeat this section all around until you reach the end of the round. And now that we have crocheted into the last chain space, we are going to close the round by slip stitching in the top of the very stitch we have made. So let's make a slip stitch, and this is your 4th round. Now you can see the snowflake. From this point on, we will switch to red when we start round 5. So now to start the 5th round, we are going to slip stitch into the next chain space, which is now the chain 1 space. So make a slip stitch in there to move the yarn, and then cut the yarn, cut the white yarn, and we will switch to red. And the way I switch is just pull the yarn, pull a loop through the loop I have already on a hook, and then tighten the white one. And we will start crocheting into the same chain 1 space, and we will chain 1. This doesn't count as a stitch. We're just raising the height a little bit, and then make 2 single crochet into that chain 1 space. Next, we will make 2 single crochet into the next space, this one between clusters. So push the picot stitch forward and insert your hook into that space and make 2 single crochet, like so. Now you can push it back. Then 2 double crochet into the chain 3 space, and into the next chain 3 space, we're gonna make a double crochet, then a long double crochet. And the way this long double crochet is made, it's like a regular double crochet, but we insert the hook 2 spaces below, so not into this chain 2 space, but into this chain 2 space right here. Yarn over and then insert the hook in that chain 2 space, and through the back yarn over and pull up a loop, a long loop like this. Then just complete it as a regular double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and this is your long double crochet. Then into the same space we make another double crochet, and we move into the next space by making 2 double crochet. And this is your repeat section for this round. All these clusters are made into the chain spaces, so we have 2 single crochet, then behind the picot into the next chain space, 2 single crochet, then 2 double crochet into the next space, 1 double crochet into the next space, followed by a long double crochet 2 chain spaces below, back into the same chain space, and we make a double crochet, and then 2 double crochet into the next chain space. So let me show you one more time the repeat section from start to finish. Remember, we work into these chain spaces, make 2 single crochet into the next chain space, then behind the picot into the next chain space, 2 single crochet like this, into the next chain space, 2 double crochet, into the next chain space, double crochet, then a long double crochet 2 spaces below. So in this one right here, insert the hook inside and through the back pull up a loop, a long loop, then complete it as a regular double crochet, back into the chain space here at the top and make a double crochet, and then 2 double crochet into the next chain space. So repeat this section all around, and I will meet you right here at the end to close the round and continue with the last round. And now I've repeated that section all around. I am right at the end, and to close this round 5 we are going to slip stitch into the first stitch we've made, and this is your round 5. On round 6 we will make this kind of a circle snowflake. We will turn it into a hexagon with corners, and we need to move our yarn into the corner, which is right here behind the picot. And again, we are working between the spaces, the clusters. So first you need to make a slip stitch into the next single crochet, and then a slip stitch into the space between these 2 clusters. So between the 2 single crochet clusters we are going to slip stitch. And now we brought the yarn into the corner, and we can start our 6th and final round. So chain 3, this counts as a double crochet, and then another double crochet into that space, then chain 3 and make 2 more double crochet into the same space. And this is going to be one of the corners of the hexagon. Now we move into the next space between these stitches, and we make 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet between the next space between these clusters of stitches. Like this. Then we skip all these stitches, and in between, in this space, again 2 double crochet. And finally, between these 2 double crochet and these 2 single crochet, again 2 double crochet. And now we are starting the repeat section, so it's basically the same without this chain 3. So 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet into that space right behind the picot, and then 2 double crochet between all the other spaces until we reach the next corner. So 4 lots of 2 double crochet. So let me show you again the repeat section. Remember, the corners are right behind the picot, so we will make here the corner stitches, 2 double crochet, then chain 3, and 2 double crochet into the same space. So this is what we call corner stitches. This will form the corners. And now double crochet, 2 double crochet into the next space, then 2 double crochet into the next space, skip these 3 stitches, and again 2 double crochet into the next space, and 2 double crochet into the next space. There we go. So this is your repeat section right here. Corner stitches, 2 double crochet, 3 chain 3, 2 double crochet into the same space, then 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet, all done between this cluster of stitches. So repeat this all around, and I'll meet you at the end to show you how to close and how the final hexagon looks like. When you have reached the end of the round, just slip stitch in a top chain of chain 3 you've made, and that will close the round. And this is how round 6 looks like. So cut the yarn and pull through, and we have our snowflake hexagon. So yeah, this is how you crochet the Granny Snowflake Hexagon. This is how it looks like from the back. I hope the tutorial was easy to follow. If you have any questions regarding this pattern, please put them in comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And if you're looking for a tutorial to join hexagons, I have one on my channel. I will link it somewhere here on the screen for you. I will show you how to join them seamlessly. Happy crocheting!